Hey, all you spicy women out there. Jules and Michelle here from Seattle, Washington, bringing you all kinds of real life stories and no BS conversations to live by in midlife. Right, Michelle?
Oh, yes, to live by. That's right, Jules. We're here to help all you midlife women redefine your relationships, ditch those toxic cycles, and reclaim your power. Woo! One
One episode at
episode
a
at
time.
a time. Here
Okay,
we go.
Michelle, this is going to be maybe a little bit of a juicier one. Okay, maybe not super juicy.
We're going to make it juicy.
We're going to make it juicy because it's all about the connections that we have in our life, specifically in midlife, which is where we're at right now. But these connections can be all kinds of different connections, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Hey, real quick before we dive in. If you're a woman in midlife who's tired of the cliches and ready to live out loud, we're glad you're here.
Because you are definitely in the right place. We're not here to age gracefully, we're here to age boldly. So if you love real talk, big laughs, and the occasional spicy truth bomb, make sure to follow us on TikTok at Spicy Midlife Women for even more unfiltered midlife magic. So what would you want to start with? Do you want to talk about the types of connections, or what do you want to talk about first?
I want to talk about what midlife really feels like and why
Really?
these
What does it feel like?
Yeah, see, you were twisting for those of you that can see her, she was, like, twisting her hair like
I was
she's a
not
naughty
flirting with you.
schoolgirl.
I was not
Are
flirting with
you
you.
sure?
She goes, "Really? You're not?" She's kind of disappointed.
I am disappointed.
Yeah, anyway, I'm twisting my hair because I'm thinking. But the power of connection in midlife, we have kind of come to determine is probably one of the most, in my humble opinion, critical things that we need as we're kind of trying to navigate all these different changes that have come between, kids and family and work and blah, 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 blah. Because the connections you may have had before might not be the same ones that you're going to have as you go into this next chapter.
And I think in general, those transitions are pretty universal
Hmm.
when you're talking about all the different transitions that we go through in
Yeah.
midlife, because you've got aging parents. I'm kind of going through that right now myself, caring for my 98-year-old mother, helping to. And empty nesting is happening in midlife. Sometimes there's career changes happening. So, and I think on some level or another, most women are going through one of these things, if not all of them,
Right.
at any given time in
Or it's
midlife.
coming.
Or it's coming,
Yeah.
and you can definitely try to prepare yourself. But I think the goal here is to know that connections make these things easier on some level.
And meaningful. I mean,
Yes.
honestly, it's like, I want our listeners, all of you guys out there, to walk away with this feeling of an understanding about connections that you have right now in your life, things you're maybe trying to figure out whether you want to keep, or ones that you're maybe starting to develop because you're maybe developing new interests, or, you know, getting a little bit more bold and getting out there and trying new
Yeah.
things that you're not really familiar with. So, we really just want to encourage you and understand that there is a sense of belonging that goes along with the connections that we have in midlife that I think is pretty important, when we're moving into different things, different territory, if you will.
Well, you don't feel so alone,
Yeah.
or isolated.
Yeah.
It kind of gives you to a certain degree, sense of empowerment
Mhm.
when you have those connections, knowing that there are other women going through the same types
Yeah.
of things, and you can draw from their experience when you have those
Yeah.
connections. You can feel supported, and it would, a lot of times can help you grow in some of those areas based on what other people are going through that can help you as well. So it's like
It's
you
so
don't have to
funny.
try to figure it out.
You're telling me this and I'm laughing because I was talking with my daughter, Zoe, who is not a spicy midlife woman yet, but she will be at some point. And I am laughing because she's going through a lot of the things that we had gone through as we were in our 20s, your late 20s
Mhm.
into our 30s. But her messages to me, her message like she sent me today was, "Mom, I don't know if I can handle this corporate world. It's sucking the life out of me." And I just started cracking up because I'm like, yeah, it can do that if you're not careful. But I also think generationally, it's like we were in a place where we were grinding away. We were hitting, trying to hit all of and achieve all of our goals. And we were, there were so many things that
Yeah,
kind of went by the wayside. They think differently nowadays. I'm starting to
different.
notice it's like that the things that we put so much value in and so much importance in for whatever reason at the time, they just don't look at it the same way. a lot of folks that are in that age
Mhm.
category. So, the connections that they're longing for, or what I'm envisioning that she's gonna be longing for, is about her, like, future family connections and
Right.
having kids and being able to spend time and, you know, we have a good friendship or 2, that she can rely on, but right now, it's like you can't see the forest through the trees because the momentum of everything that she's, with this example, dealing with really is kind of overshadowing a lot of these other thoughts,
Yeah.
perhaps that she's having. So we have, we've gone through a lot of that. And I would say with connections that we've had, with our, let's just talk about like work, for example. There have been some wonderful connections that I've had with my work, some wonderful friends that I've maintained friendships with throughout the years. And if I had not had those people in those jobs, those connections in those jobs that I was holding, I would have probably, it would have been a lot more difficult. Not nearly as much fun because I'm all about fun. You gotta have fun when you're working. You gotta enjoy what you're doing. Why are you laughing at me?
Well, I'm listening to you because making a comparison in my mind between you and I.
Yeah.
We've been through a lot of the same things. We were married for a very long time. We had the family. We were working the corporate world. We were doing all those things. And I know what Julie's talking about. She does have these lasting relationships that she established through her career with those people, and they have been long standing. I didn't do that. I was very isolated. This is
Why do you
where
feel like you were more isolated?
because I don't know, but this in listening to you, I can see the differences that there are with people, and I guess I say that to bring up the point that this is why we're here talking
Mhm.
about these things is to make people like me at that point in life realize that to go outside of that, do like Julie, like make those connections
Well,
and
a lot of them are worth through work because that's all I mean, literally, like, everything was through
but it's
work.
probably carried you through.
Yeah.
Not completely, but to a certain degree, those connections have, I'm sure, immensely helped. Where, I'm just thinking as I was listening to you, maybe not having those, it was maybe a more difficult for me to navigate some of the stuff that I was going through because I did feel isolated
Yeah.
and maybe not as supported. I had support, but in
Different.
different ways. Yeah. So that's the only reason I was smiling, just
Well,
thinking
but
about
it
that.
kinda makes sense because and maybe in the areas that you worked in, it's like people were not as, motivated to develop any kind of interaction with people, it was more people that were I wouldn't say transient, but people moved along into different jobs more
I
quickly.
think though you have to seek it out
Yeah.
too. If there's stuff you have to do on your part to make those connections. You gotta sign up for the whatever. You have to have those conversations, find the commonalities between the people that you're associating with, those kinds of
So
things.
what do we do with, like, our audience right now? It's like
Mhm,
we've got women out there that are terrified to do this. They're
mhm.
terrified to go out and make connections. Why do you think that their hesitation is out there? What do you think that's coming from?
I just think the unknown, probably judgment
Yeah,
with what they've got going on. And that's the thing. I think shared experiences can normalize
yeah,
some of that messiness that goes on in life. And I'm not talking, I'm just bringing up the messiness because those are sometimes the parts of our life that can hold us back
yeah.
when things are messy and
We
we
avoid
worry
them.
about, yeah, we avoid it, we hide it. I always called it
Yeah.
living the lie, oh yeah, I'm good. Everything's great.
I'm fine.
I'm
The
fine. That
fine is, like,
four-letter word.
literally a four-letter word. It's
Yeah.
yeah, it's
Yeah.
it's not a good
But
one.
when you do have a community of people where you do have those connections with those shared experiences,
Mhm.
that's huge. It really is huge and can bring a lot of beneficial information to your life as well as what you have. More
Mhm.
importantly, what you have is gonna help somebody else, whether you think it can or not.
Yeah.
I wouldn't think that some of the stuff that I've gone through and have learned through to and brought me to where I'm at now, at the time, what do I have to offer somebody else as far as a connection, and that would benefit them in their life.
Oh my gosh. Are you serious?
Well, I always felt like the burden. You know what I mean? I always
Really?
felt like with as much stuff as I had going
Yeah.
on
You were
personally.
very good about hiding a lot of that, like you said, the kinda
Mhm.
living the lie thing. Okay, so I'm just gonna butter her bread a little bit here. It's like she's got this energy about her that makes people I don't know what it is, but everybody wants to be around her. They wanna hang out with her, they wanna do stuff with her, and it's like so I kind of feel very privileged to be your friend. I
You're
do,
so sweet.
because you've always been that way. So anyway, okay, I'm done buttering your bread.
Yeah,
But,
okay.
I think it's important that we talk about this stuff because as we move into our community and all of that is coming very quickly, which we'll be talking about just in a second, but, um, the impact that we could have with women who are all in kind of similar places, it has become very evident to me. I had no idea. There were so many women that were out there with the types of experiences that we had, or were in a position where they were feeling very hesitant about making changes in their life because of the repercussions that might be out there, or really just living the way they want to live. I mean, we've
Mhm.
been through some of this stuff too, because it's like we're struggling with people having outside opinions on the things that we're doing, or you know, inside opinions. Like I just heard today, my youngest tell me, he goes, "Yeah, my oldest, he does not want you to date. He doesn't want you to date." And I was just looking at him going, "Are you really?" He goes, "Yeah, he doesn't want to know anything about it. He doesn't want to hear, he doesn't want to know anything." It's like it's kinda like, "La, la, 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 mom is not dating," kinda, which I just think is the funniest thing. He wants me to be happy, but he doesn't want to know anything about the details, and frankly, he's not going to know anything about details, but I just think it's interesting how much pushback we get when we're just trying to figure our shit out.
We're just trying to live our fucking
Right?
life.
Yes!
Have a little fun, do all the serious
Yeah.
things, but then again, all the lightheartedness things there are in life to enjoy, whether it's dating, friendship connections,
Mhm.
well, stuff with yourself, going on trips alone,
Yep.
weekend getaway alone,
But I
whatever.
mean, well, when we're talking about connection in midlife, we're not just talking about connection to other people. We are
Mhm.
talking about the reconnection, I should say, that we have with ourselves because we
Yeah.
almost need, at least I felt like that myself, almost needed to reintroduce myself to myself and then go, really, is this who you are? Because I was
100%.
realizing that I was not, I was just kind of going through motions of
And I'm
things where,
still figuring things out.
well, yeah, always. Yeah.
Yeah. It's a never-ending journey. It is not a destination,
No.
ladies.
No, it isn't, but I think having really good friends,
Mhm.
really good girlfriends, having a husband or a partner or significant other that
Mhm.
is there to be your support system and your cheerleader is amazing. Doesn't always happen. A lot of us don't have that, and there's it's not necessarily the most important thing, but it sure is nice to have, I would think.
I think it's interesting too because, in a big way, just our community
Mhm.
with this podcast of listeners
Yeah.
has really been though we don't know you people,
Yeah.
it's
We wanna know
really
you people.
but
We're
it's
gonna
really
know you
been,
people.
a connection.
Yeah.
We feel very connected with what our platform is, the things we talk about, because we get feedback from our listeners
Mhm.
and people that we do talk to that listen to our podcast, of course, and for me, those are connections even in midlife.
Yeah.
That's why the Spicy Collective is what our community we're gonna have a membership community here that's launching, and that's why, in talking about this, it makes it even more exciting just knowing that we're gonna be bringing people together in that way where we can share all these life experiences, what we learned, glean from other people, what they've
Yeah.
gotten to
And
benefit.
you guys, we're kind of talking like I'm kind of excited about the group chat portion of this too, because I think there's going to be so much shit that women are going to be feeling comfortable asking about
Mhm.
that they wouldn't necessarily normally ask about.
Right.
I see this on some of these little platforms that I'm on. I'm more of a voyeur. I don't really participate. I just kind of watch what's going on around on these little platforms on social media, but there are a lot of things that women are sharing with other women in a good way, like to do with
Mhm. Oh,
sex, to do
yes.
with their body,
Mhm.
to do with
Yep.
menopause, to do with whatever, that from their own experiences. Now,
Mhm.
grant you, their experiences are their own and you kind of take bits and pieces from things, but I'm telling you, this is gonna be the best way for people to just flat out ask something they've been too embarrassed to ask, or share a story that they wanna get some feedback on from other women that are in similar places in life. I just think it's gonna be cool.
Yes.
Anyway, I think that The connections we have build our confidence too. We've been talking a lot like, recently, I've been doing a lot more stuff with the gym. This is a really good example.
Mm,
You go into these places, right? And they can be kind of intimidating, especially if you don't really know your way around the equipment, for example, or, the equipment's taken and then what do you do next? It's like you gotta go to somewhere else or kind of pivot and do something else. I think having connections with people, like I'm meeting people at the gym, I've met these women there that are awesome and, they're showing me what they're doing and, we're kind of pivoting and sharing ideas together, and it's kinda made it fun because I know I'm gonna see them when I'm there, and if I have a question about something, one of them is, she's kind of a trainer, she was a coach at the boxing gym. She can show me what to do, and I don't feel uncomfortable asking her at all. I think connections can happen in lots of different places to help build your confidence too, especially when you're trying something new.
for sure. For sure.
So anyway, so let's talk a little bit about the community. So the community will be having the link that will be shared here pretty soon. I don't know if it's going to be this week or next week, but we'll be putting it out on the socials as well. And there will be a community that you can sign up for. Michelle has probably a little bit more details about some of that.
It's just it's gonna be the Spicy Collective. It's a paid membership platform. And yes, we're gonna have a link for you to join probably the first half of March.
Mhm.
So just keep listening and we'll continue to have details on it. We're going to have every month is going to be different. We'll have a monthly theme that we come together on. We're going to have things for you to do for improving or
Bracing or
yeah,
questions or whatever, depending on the
anything.
topic, the theme.
Yep, it will have an outline of things to cover, and as we go through the month, there's gonna be a community chat in there. It's gonna be like our own little social platform
Mhm.
because we can communicate with each other. We can ask questions based on what the theme is, whatever it is.
Yeah.
And we'll have a mid-month, kind of check-in with everybody, and then at the end of the month, we're gonna have a phone call.
Mhm.
It's gonna be like a Zoom call where we bring everybody together. We get to meet and see faces and talk about what things that they gained through the monthly
Mhm.
theme, what they did as a result of it, things that they could share with others, bring questions to the table.
The evolution, really.
And yeah, that's total
Becoming more spicy,
evolution.
kind of embracing your
Yes.
midlifery, if you will,
Uh,
and really owning it
I
and
like that.
being proud of it, and
Yeah.
really kind of sharing, like Michelle said, a lot of those things that we're doing with other people
Mhm.
because why the hell not?
If you wanna be spicy and you don't feel like you are, this is gonna be the place to kinda gain some of that
Mhm.
stuff and establishing your own sense of identity
Yeah.
in midlife. Really,
We're
I think
reestablishing.
reestablishing what you already know is in there and bringing it out, baby.
Yeah.
Bringing it out.
So we're excited about it, can you tell?
Yeah. It's gonna be fun.
Yeah, we're looking forward to it. So, in the meantime, we are on the socials. We're on TikTok, YouTube. We are on YouTube as well. Please like and subscribe. We are really building our YouTube channel, so we're having a lot of fun with that. And of course, Instagram and Facebook. We would love to hear your comments and any questions or feedback that you have. We would definitely be engaging with all of you. Michelle and I are really into kind of doing that. We're at that place where we still can. So I would love to hear any feedback or anything that you guys have.
Let's hear it from you,
Yeah.
ladies.
And until next week, stay spicy, please.
Stay spicy.
Bye.
Bye, everybody.